All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're taking on a seriously fascinating investigation into the very architecture of boundaries. We're going to look at how systems, whether we're talking about highly advanced artificial intelligence, complex digital networks, or, actual human beings, process a world full of absolutely chaotic information. How do they establish clear perimeters? How do they defend against invisible threats? It's an incredible journey that connects the absolute cutting edge of tech right back to our everyday lives.
So you might be wondering, in a world of infinite data and invisible threats, how do we actually protect our most valuable assets, our focus, our privacy, our safety? They're all under constant siege from this absolute fire hose of noise and malicious actors. To figure out how we build the ultimate protection, we're going to bridge the gap between how AI parses massive amounts of data and how real-world human security operates at its core.
Okay, let's dive into this mission briefing and lay out our structural map for synthesizing these files. 1. Filtering the data firehose. 2. When digital boundaries break. 3. The human security system. And 4. Anchoring the core.
Starting right off with Part 1, filtering the data firehose, processing chaotic input.
To really understand how AI defends our attention against data chaos, we have to look at how it summarizes information. Think about extractive summarization. For a long time, early AI just extracted direct quotes, essentially taking a highlighter to a transcript and just copy-pasting sentences. But true intelligence? That requires abstractive summarization. It generates novel, concise summaries. It has to deeply synthesize complex, multi-party meaning, paraphrase it, and then present a brand new sentence that actually captures the real essence of the conversation. And when you compare traditional written documents to everyday meeting speech, the differences are just staggering. Meeting transcripts contain literally thousands of tokens of pure noise. Think about information density. Meetings are super low density. They're filled with false starts, overlapping speech, meandering thoughts. It's basically like a chaotic Thanksgiving dinner. So, to find the actual signal in all that noise, AI models can't just look at words. They have to use complex architectures like discourse graphs or dialogue acts to map out who's agreeing, who's suggesting, and what the final decision actually is. We are actually seeing this abstractive technology successfully filter everyday noise right now. Take the Snipped app, for example. It empowers users to extract high-value intelligence while on the go. You can literally use this triple-tap headphone snipping feature to save a key moment while you're just out walking, and the AI instantly generates a summary. You can even chat with the audio to retrieve answers. And why does this matter to us? Because it acts as a digital boundary. It protects your valuable time by automatically summarizing all that chaos into actionable intelligence you can actually use. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is what happens when things go wrong. Part 2, when digital boundaries break, when defenses fail.
This cybercrime file here, based on an IC3 complaint filed by Jacqueline Moore, documents a chilling situation where personal data boundaries were fully breached. The complaint alleges this was done via unauthorized nearby sharing Bluetooth connections. It specifically identifies subjects like Jeremy Alexander and L'Oreal Wielden, among others, who are associated with the unauthorized access and sharing of personal data without consent. It's a stark, real-world reminder of the invisible vulnerabilities in our everyday networks.
Now, the complaint doesn't just list names, it details exactly how malicious actors bypass systemic boundaries. They weaponize specific digital identifiers to maintain network access. We're talking about domains and services like Google Play Store Services, AndroidPlot.com, and API.TP-Link-Router.com. By exploiting these common, often trusted domain identifiers, the actors were able to camouflage their unauthorized access right within normal digital traffic. And this brilliantly illustrates that to track such invisible breaches, you need a systemic response. This canceled Copilot research log details the critical need for actor pattern analysis. When you're dealing with coordinated misconduct, cybercrime, and harassment, you can't just look at isolated incidents. The log documents the absolute necessity of tracking specific threat vectors, like the SMS actor ending in 9602 and Melissa Roth, tying communications directly to physical evidence. It proves that to defend a network, the system must constantly analyze patterns to identify the true actors hiding behind the noise. Which brings us to a massive pivot point. If our abstract digital perimeters are so easily breached by bad actors hiding in the noise, how do we build the ultimate security system from day one? Well, to answer that, we're going to connect the macro to the micro and look at the most foundational security system in existence. Part 3. The Human Security System. Foundational Intuition.
To truly understand foundational security, we turn to The Trusty Dusty Adventures of Juliana Rose, which is a child safety manual. It introduces this amazing concept of the Rose radar.
Just as roses have thorns to protect themselves, humans have an internal alert system, that physical uh-oh feeling in the tummy that signals a boundary has just been crossed. Think of a child's intuition as a highly advanced, built-in biometric firewall. It tells the system, meaning the child, that it is entirely okay to be prickly and firmly say no to an invisible threat.
From that internal radar, the manual builds external defense protocols. Step 1 is the buddy system, modeled by older cousin Easton, teaching that nodes in a network must stick together like glue. Step 2 is the safety spot, shown by Jacob holding firmly onto the stroller, which acts as a physical anchor in a chaotic environment. And step 3 is the warrior voice, used by little Marcellus, who yells loud and clear if he's scared. Together, these steps establish that strong, interconnected networks and loud, clear distress signals are our absolute best physical defense. But this next part might just be the most vital piece of the entire human security protocol, delivered by the character Jackie Bear. Your words are safe here. We don't keep scary secrets in the sanctuary. This is a profoundly critical concept for any architecture. Truly secure systems require the transparent reporting of errors and breaches without any fear of retaliation. Because if a node or a child is too scared to report a failure, the whole system is vulnerable. Complete transparency is the bedrock of a secure network.
Let's move on and see how this builds into our final phase. Part 4, Anchoring the Core, Abstract Architecture. These AI-generated golden amulets, specifically referred to in our source files as the celestial husband and wife artifact, serve as the ultimate visual metaphors for securing interconnected networks against chaos. Notice the intricate concentric rings, the glowing nodes, and that heavily fortified center. They represent a perfectly balanced, continuously monitored system where every perimeter is clearly defined and the core is completely shielded from the noise of the outside universe.
If we break down the labels from these amulets, the metaphor becomes incredibly clear. The system bridge links distinct internal networks, much like that human buddy system we just talked about. The realm gate establishes strict access control, blocking the unauthorized Bluetooth connections we saw earlier. The core regulator processes and filters chaotic input, meaning everything from an AI abstractive meeting summarizer filtering out transcript noise right down to a child using their warrior voice acts as a core regulator. They all serve one singular purpose: to protect the center.
So, the crucial point is this. Every secure architecture, whether it's software analyzing data, a database fighting off bad actors, or a family protecting a child, relies on a foundational, unchangeable truth at its center. The amulets call this the sovereign anchor. It is the core boundary that simply cannot be compromised. I want to leave you with this thought as you navigate the data fire hose today. In a universe of chaotic noise and invisible breaches, what is your sovereign anchor? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep your boundaries secure.